Oh, hold on. Right before we start, let me just have some music playing real quick. I'm playing it right now. I'm about
just
to
fire it up and just so you can hit the record, but we can edit it out. Just hit the record now so we can, I'll fade it in. So I hit it, and you're good.
Oh, just hit it right
the
now.
Record button.
Y'all know what it is.
Perspectives and Facts Podcast, episode 20. I'm playing this music right now because, it is like that right now. Just by what we're looking at in the studio, the quality and everything, it looks good. And I'm going to pause the music because I was thinking about it right when it started. I'm like, no, we're going to put this on YouTube. And we put things on YouTube, you got to edit out the music.
Yeah, and copyright, strikes.
It's a copyright strikes, and you don't want any copyright strikes. So, Perspectives and Facts Podcast, episode 20. Randy, I'm excited because the way the studio looks, we have the right lighting, we have the background, we have these microphones. I have the Rodecaster sitting right here. Yes, we have the soundboards. We have the seats behind us. It's very professional. We cannot hit the table because the sound is picking up everything.
Catching everything.
This is a very professional setting that we're in. The energy's right. Cannot wait to drop this episode on YouTube. You know why? Because they're saying we record our episodes with a frying pan. Guess what? This is a great camera. I can't wait to just upload this and let the people see what we actually got going on.
Now, we understand y'all been in the comments, man. We all our supporters, all our subscribers. Y'all been with us since day one. Y'all seen us in the first studio. Y'all seen us in the second studio. And now y'all seen us grow, right? So we've elevated to this studio here. It's amazing. We got the Rodecaster. We got the cameras.
Do you see we have the logo right here?
Come on, man.
We got a logo right here. Salute to Dane who made the logo. Really, really appreciate that. Definitely landed on the colors that we wanted. So, like I said, episode 20, Perspectives and Facts Podcast.
2-0.
We got a lot of great topics today. Like I said, I was thinking about playing music right before I remembered that we will be putting this on YouTube. And just because of that, I don't want any, YouTube strikes or video be taken down or, to mess with the algorithms. So, getting into these topics, what's the first thing you want to get into?
So, we're going to get into it. Guys, we know we've been away from you guys for a couple weeks, but there's been a lot of things that's been transpiring on in the news. And so, we want to start it off with the vibes, the music, right?
Definitely.
Donda, Certified Lover Boy. How you feeling about both of those albums? Let's start off with Donda.
All right, first of all, with Donda, what Kanye West did with that, with, the production, the features, the concept of it, the energy that he took from it, the marketing campaign, the 3 listening parties that he had in NFL stadiums that were packed and sold out, and then having that music for people to be able to hear it about 3 times over and then still drop it and have that same effect. I really appreciated Donda. It was a great album. I feel like it's songs on that project that are going to stick to you for the next couple months at least.
Yes.
When it comes to CLB, there's good songs on it. I enjoy the second half of the album better than the first half of the album. But it was a lukewarm project by Drake. It was cool. I called it mid. Got in debates when they asked what's better, CLB or Donda. I say it's gonna be Donda. That's what I say. It's better. It's a better album. It's a better tape. It's more. You're asking somebody, okay, are we getting into spiritual? Are we getting into like soul cleansing? Are we getting into even the features when it's Lil Baby? His feature to me is way more personal and way more introspective than his feature on the Drake album. Yeah. Or Lil Durk, his feature talking about his brother, talking about his dad just getting out of prison and his brother dying, in his worst fears, versus him shouting out his girl's cosmetic line on Drake's album. Yeah. It's just different. The only thing that I say I like better on Drake's album more than Kanye West's new album is the Kid Cudi feature. I really like I Miss You Too better than Kid Cudi's feature on Moon. But you remember when we had the album early, we had the Donda album early, and Kid Cudi was on Remote Control. Yeah. And that was way cleaner.
The leak
was
cleaner.
that was probably one of the best parts of the album. We really hope he kept that, and he cut that off. So
Yeah, we was hurt by that.
yeah.
This is how I feel about it, right? I'm kind of on the other introspective of it. I actually felt like CLB was more of a better project to me. Now, before I say that, I will say this. Donda was amazing. The aura of it, the energy that Kanye came with, you know, how he had Mercedes-Benz Dome Stadium. He was out there for like a couple months doing those shows. That shit was dope. You know what I'm saying? When he released it, it really hit home for me just because of bro, I ain't gonna lie. When Kanye be coming with the choir, bro, he be touching niggas' souls, bro. Like, for real, bro. Like,
Yeah, definitely. I think he perfected the choir arrangements because after Life of Pablo, I feel like with Life of Pablo and with Chance the Rapper, I feel like he really brought that church aspect to Kanye West. Like, he really kind of helped perfect that. And what I've heard from was it's really Chance the Rapper's brother Taylor was the one who was in there with them and kind of was spearheading that gospel sound, right?
wow.
So after that, and after Kanye seen what Chance did with the coloring book, I feel like Kanye West pretty much was trying to slowly perfect gospel music into like secular music, you know what I'm saying? Or either, if I can't merge it right now, which he couldn't, because, you know, he was, what's that song he came with, Lil Pump, you feel me? But he was just on some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And then he took like a 180, you know what I'm saying? He like went the complete opposite and that's when he got the Sunday service. It was doing things like that.
The gospel album.
Right. So he just went totally gospel, and then he put out things like Jesus is King.
Yeah, Jesus is King, that was the album.
And people didn't like that, right? I like Jesus is Born, the one he dropped on Christmas, because it's really just a gospel choir, and they're doing certain covers and singing original songs. I like that better than Jesus is King. And then he dropped Yay, I think 2018. Same time he dropped like those 7-song albums, and Yay straight, but it like for a Kanye West project, you know, you think any time Kanye drops a project, you think it's a life-changing project. It's like on a Drake level.
Yeah.
Those are the only two artists to me in my generation that I know off the dome. Anytime they drop a project, it's kind of like a shift or a time mark in history of like, what were you doing? What was your mindset?
Where were you at that time?
Right. So Kanye to me fell off after Life of Pablo, but it was to try to create something new or reinvent himself. And I feel like this album was a perfect marriage of bringing in hip hop, bringing in what he does, and then bringing into the secular part, bringing in, you know, mixing it with the gospel.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Jesus Walks. I feel like he like realized that in totality with this album.
Yeah. He really perfected that whole lane, you know, like bringing gospel to hip hop. He really perfected it with this album. And so I definitely will give him credit where credit is due. The reason why I felt like CLB to me personally was better just because it was a couple more tracks on Drake album that I felt like really hit home. And you know what's crazy? You had the leaks before the album even came out, and we listened to the leaks and we was like, "Yo, this leak."
The Drake album, right?
Yeah, the leaks.
Yeah.
We was like, "Yo, these leaks might be better than the album."
Yo, those leaks were fire.
Yo, it's some leaks that Drake had that he didn't even put out on the album, man. I'm telling you.
And the interludes. Remember he had the Diddy interlude,
Yeah.
and then he had a bigger Drake versus Kanye song on the disc. Remember that was a leaked record.
Yeah.
Where he had Kanye talking in the beginning about how he fucks all his wife's friends.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the song I wanted to come out.
And that didn't even make the album.
That didn't even make the out.
Or
Man.
the song I forgot what it's called, man. I want to go into the hard drive, but I'm not even gonna do that right now, waste time. But I really like that album because he even had he had better songs for like the chicks or for like the certified lover boy vibe on the leak. Cause it was one of them where he had a girl going, and it was him and the girl going back and forth. I don't even know what that chick was, but that song was awesome. Or even the second track. I remember when the leak dropped, I remember like by the time it got to track 2, me and a couple of my friends just called like that got on FaceTime was like, "Yo, you heard track 2? Yo, track 2's crazy," and just like quoting the bars.
Y'all had to stop at 2. That's crazy.
That's how. And so what I'm saying is people be thinking like, "Oh, I'm a Drake head." No, I'm a objective Drake fan. Like I always say, I bought floor seats to a Drake concert. All right, I don't buy floor seats to go see anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I don't like Drake. I understand. To me, he is this era's Michael Jackson. He's this era. He's the Michael Jordan of music. Yeah. Over the last 10 years. He's LeBron. He's whoever you want to think. I feel like Lil Wayne was Kobe. Mm-hmm. And just like how like when Kobe kind of started, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really Kobe started fault because Kobe really never. It was like LeBron. It was just LeBron's time.
Yeah, it was a time. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened with the transition between Lil Wayne and Drake. Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed Drake's album, but I didn't enjoy it like. I enjoyed this album the least than any album he's ever dropped.
This is what I would say.
This was the least enjoyable Drake album I've ever heard.
Donda, I would say I could listen to Donda from front to back and I won't skip a song.
Right.
CLB is going to be a couple tracks that I do skip. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I can say, like, as far as, like, complete body of work, Kanye had a complete better body of work than Drake had with CLB. I would give Kanye that. But I would say some of the hitters that Drake had, they hit home. Like the TSU.
TSU was fire, but TSU was on a leak.
Oh, wow, was?
Yeah. TSU was on a leak. It was called Not Around. I remember when I heard it, I'm like, when we heard the leak, I remember we were talking about it in the group chat that I was telling you about. And we were like, man, and my nigga Tony was like, I don't think a lot of these songs going to be on the album. And because we got it. Yeah. But I was telling him, like, bro, TSU got to be on there, though, bro. Like, that shit sounds like one of the. In the here before the album is like it's like damn, it give you like that feeling. That was the first Drake song on the album that gave me like that Drake, just like damn, like that nostalgic, you know what I'm saying? But that's why he put it on there. And I think it was one or two other songs he put on the leak. But one thing about leaks, they're good and bad. Like, to me, just because something's leaked does not mean you can't put it out. I feel like that's what Kanye kind of proved with Donda. Like, I'm going to do a live show with thousands of people and then stream it on Apple Music. And I'm going to have different versions. I'm going to perfect the album live in front of people 3 times over. It doesn't matter if everybody heard it. When it's finally dropped and is a final copy of it, everybody's going to fuck with it regardless, because you know who I am and you know I'm presenting an album to you. Somebody they say who's perfectionist is Playboi Carti. Number one, he waited too long to perfect an album. Like, he should have dropped some mixtapes or something between that. Yeah. Number one. And number two, the leaks, bro. He could have really dropped an album full of leaks and it would have did dial-lit numbers.
It would have done numbers. See, Carti.
Like, I'm going to let you finish. I'm just going to say this one last sentence. Carti has about 2 albums worth of leaks that are classics. Like, he can just drop probably 24 to 36 songs and break that down into 2 albums, and those are classic albums.
Literally, and that was going to be my point. Honestly, like, Playboi Carti has always had so many leaks, and he never releases songs that get leaks. I don't know why, but if he were to just release a whole project full of leaks, Carti would still do the same numbers that he does when his album comes out, because those fans still want those songs. They still want to hear those songs. Like Pissy Pamper, that song never came out. It never, like, what happened to it?
Man, it was 2 YouTube leaked. Like, it was, YouTube, you go listen to music and, it's just regular. But it's, it's a video. It was 2 YouTube leaks that were like 2 hours long, and it was just full of Carti song. And one of them, when he took down the first one, another one was like in Japanese. And I remember it was Corey. Corey sent us the leaks, both of them, both YouTube links. And then around the time before the album came out, I'm on Twitter and shit, and just like, Carti fans are talking to everybody, and I'm thinking like, man, how can we get some leak shit? And I just went on like Carti. I just typed in Carti leaks on Google, and I found like a little YouTube shit, not YouTube, but Apple Music list. The list I sent you, and there's a whole bunch of Carti songs that aren't like named his, but it's the leaks. That's how I found it, and that's how I made the little playlist that sound better than the album. But it's like proving the point, like, damn, bro, you can have a leak that's better than your fucking work.
And it's almost like they feel like they can't release it because, okay, you guys already listened to the leak, so there's no point in me releasing it. Like, no, the fans want that.
You know what's crazy? He has a fire song with Wiz Khalifa that nobody's ever heard.
Wow. That
shit's hard. That was like the first song off the leak.
That's crazy.
Or one of the songs me and Pardone use. One thing I love about when like me and Pardone like do work and like the songs we use, we all just like that Kanye song Hurricane, where we used that like 2 years before the song came out, 2-3 years before the song came out. When we pick music, it's always some like leaked shit, some unreleased, some you know what I'm saying? Just some like next shit, or it's like some underground shit where it's like, bro, like it just hits different, bro. And that's what I was just thinking about that shit, man.
So as far as if you, let's say for instance, like if you gotta pick a song that you gotta ride out to on Donda, like your favorite song on Donda, your favorite song on CLB to go against each other, what would be the song that you pick on Donda? What would be the song that you pick on Certified Lover?
All right. I kind of want to pick like maybe 2-3 songs off each.
Okay, we can do that.
So from Donda, I'm gonna pick Off the Grid, Hurricane, Praise God, and 24.
I was gonna wait and see if you said 24. I was waiting to see if you gonna say 24. Okay, bet.
And you can really throw like Jonah. You could
Jonah's part 2, part 1. Like you could interchange them for sure.
Certified Lover Boy, right? I'll put up Champagne Poetry.
Okay,
right?
that's a good one.
I want to say Love All.
Jay-Z. Yep.
TSU. I would. Do we count this? Because Drake wasn't even on Yabba's Heartbreak. I'm not gonna count that.
I would count that. But
7 a.m. on Bridal Path.
Facts.
I like Fountains.
It's one that I would.
But before Fountains, if we're gonna, I'll put You Only Live Twice. I like I Miss You Too. I like I really like about 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about 9, 10 songs off the Drake album I like. That I'll really go back to. You know what I'm saying? Off the Kanye shit, I got about 1. I got Off the Grid, Hurricane, Praise God, Jonah, Junior, Believe What I Say, 24, Remote Control, Moon, Heaven and Hell, Keep My Spirit Alive. I mean, really, they're not too far off. Like I said, it's not like Donda is like, this is what it is. This is how good Drake is. Donda is fire. CLB is mid. And it's about like this. It's not a big gap.
Yeah, it's not.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's very close. Very close race.
That's how great Drake is. Drake can drop mid and still be on your ass. But at this time, I feel like every time Drake drops a project, it's the album of the year pretty much, or it goes up in heavy contention for album of the year. This is the first time he's dropped a project, and then like right after the project's dropped, like usually it's like a bomb and it's everything else. He dropped it and everybody's like, well, album of the year is still open.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. It was a lot of subjective views when after he like the review of CLB. A lot of people weren't fucking with it. It was a lot of people that were, but I seen a lot of people that weren't too, like, oh, this is all right. Cool.
I'll take a lot of props for being on the hate train for driving that bus. I thank you for. And I wish we had the round of applause because I would hit it for myself for being the first ones when it came on. Woke up Friday morning, listened to it again, and then again, and I'm like, fuck this. I didn't enjoy doing that. And by the time I came on Twitter, I'm like, are we ready to say this is mid? And, you know, and people interacted, you know what I'm saying? We were talking about it. You know, salute to my homegirl, the Don AC on Instagram, Abigail. She's cool, you know what I'm saying? My homie from Jacksonville, she lives in Atlanta now. She's super cool. She came at me on Twitter because she's a Drake fan, but Drake actually talked to her in the DMs before. Like, she's really, like...
Shout out to her.
And her music opinion is, she's probably top 5 people I'll listen to on some music shit.
Yeah.
Because she'll say some shit's hot, and I'll be like, man, I ain't listen to you. Then I'll listen to it. Come on, nah, you right.
Yeah.
Or she's very in tune. I remember the Party Next Door, I think P3 dropped in 2016. I'm like, bro, I hate this shit was trash. She was like, nah, this shit right. Just listen to it again. Come on, came back. I'm like, nah, this shit a classic. I fuck with it.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Very respected opinion. So, it's crazy because, like, as far as sales goes, I think they kind of did around the same.
Nah. Kanye, when he dropped, he did around 300,000.
First week.
Drake dropped, he did around 600,000.
He did 600?
Yeah.
Okay.
But popularity and
yeah, that played a whole part into it.
And substance are two different things. With Kanye and Drake, you're asking me, should I get in tune with my spirit and my soul and cleanse myself in purity, or should I subscribe to these hoes and fucking spending money on them? Because this sounds like he just hung out with Future the whole time. This album doesn't sound like...
This is definitely a Future influenced album.
You know what it sounds like? I feel like people are. It's not that people are getting tired of Drake. People might be getting tired of Drake. You know why I say that? Because I've heard two things. I heard people saying, I don't want to hear Drake talk about hoes and how rich he is and success and these other rappers in the fuck industry. And I hear people saying, I don't want to talk about him taking his kid to school. I don't want to hear him talk about being the dad, settling down. And so it's like, what the fuck can he talk about then?
He has to talk about his life.
So, but it's like, what about his life can he talk about that people want to hear? Because it's like that everything he can talk about, I've heard critical thinkers and critically acclaimed thinkers say they don't want to hear both parts. Like I've heard I'll hear academics say he don't want to hear him talk about fatherhood, and I'll hear Joe Budden saying I don't want to hear him talk about fucking these hoes. And Rory, he'll talk. I really like what Rory said. Rory's basically saying like I don't want to hear him talking about sleeping with women and balling on them. And you'll have academics like I don't want to hear him talk about being a father. And it's like, well, damn, what do you want to hear?
You're never gonna be able to please everybody. That's the thing. It's impossible.
Know what it is? Probably. Know what I think is happening, man? I think what's happening is like what you see with LeBron.
He's been in the game too long.
Not only that, but like
nothing can impress you.
Not only that, but like you can look at even last playoffs, right? Going out in the first round. That's not no LeBron shit.
No, it's not.
No matter how you that's first time going out in the first round, right?
First time ever.
So whatever you may say, you think this may be Cleveland LeBron who can drop 40-point triple-doubles who out the band. But if he was a 40-point triple-double LeBron, he wouldn't have went out in the first round. And this is the point I'm making with Drake, right? Where it's just like, is the run is coming to an end. And when I say that, with Michael Jackson, right? When he dropped the Dangerous album, and I'm salute to our new audio engineer in the next room. Salute to him because he's worked in the radio station, so you probably would know how this was. Like Michael Jackson from the Thriller to Bad era was like Drake last decade, was LeBron last decade, right? By the time Michael Jackson dropped Dangerous in 1991, which was funny, 30 years ago, yeah, that's Michael Jackson. Yeah, he's the biggest artist on the planet, most famous person on the planet. But in 1991, niggas ain't saying Dangerous is the best album of 91. Everybody remembers 91 and Dangerous dropped.
Yeah.
In 87, it was like that for Bad. In 82, it was like that for Thriller. You see what I'm saying? Just like when Views dropped, you know what time it was. You know what day it was. When Nothing Was the Same dropped, you know what you had on. You knew was it raining or was the sun out? Did you have class that day? Who was you dating? You know what I'm saying? When Take Care dropped, it was what party would you go into with? You know what I'm saying? Who you getting drunk with for the first time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But see, this is the expectations that comes with being the best, right? You're at such a high pedestal. Even if you drop mid, it's still better than a lot of niggas' best work.
Exact. Just like Dangerous, just like a lot of other, like Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, a lot of these great artists, from first to last, a lot of their work is great just because of their caliber of art, right? Yep. But with Drake, and the same thing with Michael, and a lot of artists, people be like saying artists come and go, is kind of like, how long can an artist remain cool?
Yeah. And
when I say cool, I feel like it's more of like a age thing or something, but it's like Drake, he's still cool, he's still Drake, but you see what I'm kind of saying? It's like that this guy, like that if you're reading, it's too late energy, that young boy, that I'm in the game, that, or even that views of like, is my reign, I'm taking over the game, that like I'm washing over the industry with my, you know what I'm saying? Or even Scorpion, where it's like, I'm doing a double, I'm 3-peating, I'm 4-peating, right? This is kind of like,
You know what it felt like? It almost felt like Drake got injured, like he was an NBA player and got injured. He's coming off an ACL injury, and he had to come back and prove himself.
Right.
That's what it felt like, And so, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, Nothing Was the Same album. It wasn't a Take Care album, but I still feel like it was definitely a classic in itself.
A classic what?
A classic body of work.
on what standard are you grading this on?
Remember, because me and you talked about this. I had put CLB in the top 5 Drake albums of all time. Now, your 5th was what? I think it was Views. It was one of those albums. But I still put CLB in top 5, man. I still stand on that.
Bro, this nigga put CLB in Drake's top 5. Bro, you crazy. You're crazy, bro. Like, you know why? Bro, you're you and LP are delusional.
I'm telling you, man, go back and listen to it.
Drake's top 5 albums to me. Nothing Was the Same is number 1. Take Care is number 2. All right. Number 3 with an asterisk is If You're Reading This Is Too Late.
Can't do it. You know why we can't do it.
Bro, and I'm an objective Drake fan, but it is what it is. It's not like people stop listening to it, bro.
It's a good word.
It's not like it's like a steroid Hall of Famer. We don't know the years you were exactly doing steroids. We're just gonna account all your shit. So Nothing Was the Same. Number 4 best Drake album to me was Views, and to round out a top 5, I would definitely put. I'm honestly gonna put goddamn for number 5. I want to put More Life.
Yeah,
I
remember you saying More.
And then Dark Lane number 6. So just to round it out, again is number 1 Nothing Was the Same. Number 2 was Take Care. Number 3 was Nothing Was the Same. Number 4 was Views. Number 5 was More Life. Number 6 Dark Lane. And then number 7 I'll probably say was maybe his first album. No, Scorpion. Did I put Scorpion in there yet?
And I was about to say that's.
Oh no, fuck! I'm tripping. All right, Scorpion. I gotta put ahead of. Now I'll put right up under More Life.
No particular order. Dark Lane Demo, Scorpion, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, and CLB. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
All right.
So guys, we gonna move on to the next topic. We got a lot of things to talk about today. One of the things that I think I seen in the news, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it. Nicki Minaj anti-vaccine comments. That was one of the things I think that was really hitting the blogs heavy. She's been all over the shade room, all over academics, speaking on this. How you feeling about these comments, man?
Personally, I feel like she was irresponsible with her platform. And when I say that, is that when you get on your platform with a story that your cousin's friend took the vaccine and their balls enlarged to the fact that their fiance called off their wedding, you tweeted that. You didn't say LOL. You didn't say this was satire. You said that as for it to be believed because you have enough influence to just say what. That's why they call you influencer, because you have the power to influence the minds of the people who follow you, right?
Yep.
You said that during an era where you can't even say like COVID-19. You can't even say certain things because it's going to mess up the algorithm because people don't even want you to talk about it. Even if you post something, they're going to give you the Surgeon General warning at the bottom on Instagram. So you say that, it gets out to public. Then you have Democratic parties or Democratic news sites like CNBC and Joy Reid doing the Sister Girl act on the news and calling out Nicki Minaj because, they think all entertainers are supposed to be more liberals, right? So basically, you're not going with the game of getting vaxxed. Number 2, you had people like Tucker Carlson and Fox News, kind of like playing with it because they knew it was BS too, but, they're kind of on the more anti-vax train. You see what I'm saying? And then you had the Trinidadian government look into the story, and they had to come out with a press conference to say the story was unfound. So basically, it was a lie. And then Nicki Minaj said that, Instagram took my account. Twitter took my account. Her account's still there. Then she said the White House invited me to go speak with them. I'm going to wear a pink outfit. The White House came out with a press statement, said we offered her a phone call to educate her on the vaccine.
Oh, my God.
And then I've been on the Star Report this week, and all I keep hearing is people call in, primarily black people call in and say, oh, man, yo, nah, we got to stick with Nicki. Nicki is a martyr. Nicki speaking up for the anti-vax. She's a freedom fighter just because she said in one of her IG story posts, she was like, oh, y'all wouldn't like Martin. It was like, y'all wouldn't like Malcolm X in this era because he speaks up. Y'all don't like people speak up for themselves. It's like, no. You can't now align yourselves with historical Black Americans when, as a Caribbean, you took a dump on people like Rosa Parks and other historical Black Americans since you've had a platform. That's number one. And number two, you're not educated enough to use your platform as a medium to speak on anti-vax unless you have the information. Because clearly, if you're trying to speak for anti-vax, you kind of took a dump on that whole movement or that whole argument by coming out with a fake story. Now people won't take you serious. So you're not really an ally for any anti-vaxxing if you kind of hurt the argument by doing what you did. So even when people are like, oh, Rizza Islam or other people are aligning themselves with Nicki Minaj and they're trying to, educate her, I'm like, no, she's not the person you want to do this. And she lied. So how is she a freedom fighter? How is she a martyr? How is she some type of symbolic a figure to be the leader for anti-vax? And she didn't have the information, and she lied, and she made everybody look stupid. At the end of the day, man, like, this is the same thing with Jussie Smollett when he lied, saying he got beat up and they had the rope, and everybody was like, oh, we got to get behind him. And niggas is like, nah, bro, he's lying. And then it came out for him to be a liar, and people still want to get emotional. Like I said, Black people, they subscribe to emotionalism and symbolism. That's why when I listen to Starport, even when I hear people talk about it, like, oh, it's a symbol, what she's trying to symbol. We don't need symbols. We need tangibles. Yeah. We need something that you can, you know what I'm saying? And then when I say emotionalism, it's like anything that can like charm and disarm you, anything that can galvanize any type of emotion. Like somebody can be yelling like, yo, the sky is orange. If they're yelling loud enough and passionate about it, you're going to reconsider what color is the sky. You can't let people manipulate your mind based off of what they want you to think. That's all I'm saying. And even with Nicki Minaj, you can't look for people to be martyrs or people to be leaders of certain movements just because you like what they do in another platform. Just because I'm good at podcasting does not mean you can put me in a studio and I can mix and master your album just because I'm good at talking about music and I'm good at podcasting.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, that was my point, the whole thing with it. It was just like, if you're not informed and properly educated on certain topics, just don't speak on it. Less is more.
No, you can speak on it, but don't lie about it. Like Nicki Minaj, even when they asked her, like, because this whole thing started because somebody was like, "Yo, her fans are really big." The Barbs. Yeah, they're like, "Yo, we haven't seen you out in public in a year. What's going on?" And she was like, "I just had a baby, the COVID vaccine, everything." And she was like, "I didn't go to the Met Gala." She said, "I'm not vaccinated, but it's just because I'm getting more information." She said Drake caught the virus and he was vaccinated. So she kind of already was on. That's why people say she was anti-vax. You see what I'm saying? And then for her to basically, and like I said, my point again, bro, she lied. So if she's going to lie and come out here, then whatever happens to her.
Yeah. And my thing is, you can't be lying and you got millions of people behind you. You're an influencer.
She's one of the biggest influencers. The Barbs and the Beehive are the two biggest fan bases. They will dox you. They'll get your information, where you work, where your mom's at. Man. They'll harass you. They'll get your account suspended.
Ask Cardi B, man.
When you talk about influence, when you talk about influencers, people who influence, like, this is what they're talking about is social media influence. When you can say, yo, put the bee emoji on that person's page, and you go to that person's page. Or think about it. Trick Daddy said something about Beyonce and everything in his comments. Oh my God. Bro, the reviews on his man turn his restaurant. That's influence, and she didn't even say nothing.
Wild.
That's why they call her quote unquote the queen, because like she don't have to make a comment for backlash. They just gonna backlash you themselves.
The Beehive will take care of you.
It's like an autocorrect button. So I think that wraps up our conversation on Nicki Minaj and her misuse of her platform on social media. Be more responsible. Be more responsible. Don't drink and tweet.
Moving along.
Oh, matter of fact, they say, before we're done, they say the main reason why she did this because her husband was found guilty of not registering as a sex offender in California.
Let's speak on it.
And because that news came out, she was kind of, getting in the press and speaking and kind of be more of a distraction than with that. So, just letting people know. And then, she released a picture with her, Rihanna, and A$AP Rocky and her son. But it's crazy because you release that, and then a week later he gets, he gets found guilty of not registering as a sex offender. So it's like, damn, how you? I'm not saying they shouldn't get second chances, but it's just kind of crazy how you just gonna have me taking pictures with niggas. So it's keep moving on these topics.
Redirecting the narrative. All right, guys. I hope everybody's been tuned in with the Versuzz lately. We had a really good one. A couple days ago, we had Fat Joe, Crack, and Ja Rule. My boy Florida Boy Jay, how you feeling about this Versuzz, man? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched the Versuzz. When the matchup first came, I said, I'm like, well, Ja Rule's gonna win this.
Yeah.
It's period. And it's hip hop heads. Oh no, Joey Crack, Fat Joe, Crack. Flow Joe, let it get him, you know what I'm saying? Let it flow Joe, you know what I'm saying? They were getting hyped up and they're like, no, Fat Joe got hit. Nobody wants to see Fat Joe. And I'm like, bro, y'all forgetting who Ja Rule is, bro. Like Ja Rule.
17 number ones.
Like Ja Rule was the dude, bro. Like Ja Rule is that nigga.
He was that guy in the early 2000s. It was Ja Rule.
I'm sorry to break it to you. So, and it was like the main reason why this was so funny because at that point in time when it was Ja Rule, Fat Joe was one of the rappers in the industry. Yeah. Like he was, he
was in that era.
This was his era.
Yeah.
At no point was anybody saying Fat Joe can see anything dealing with Ja Rule.
If Ja Rule was a superstar, Fat Joe was
a star. So I don't see why Fat Joe wasn't headlining no shows and no big shows. I remember when I went to go see a concert in Jacksonville, Fat Joe performed. He had to tell the crowd he had hits. Like by the time he got to What's Love, because like niggas don't care. Ja Rule, bro, Ja Rule can go anywhere and turn the party out with his catalog. Anywhere. It don't matter where he go. Because first of all, you're like, damn, Ja Rule in the same building as me. Damn, he can do anything. And I'm going to ride out. Cause shit. And then those are actually good songs. So when the Versuzz started and Ja Rule just started playing his like back to back to back, and then, Fat Joe was trying to, do the banter and trying, this is hip hop. He's trying to do his best Jada Kiss impression, but you can't do that.
That's not you, Fat Joe. Come on,
that's not you.
That's not you, bro.
And he ended up getting washed the whole time. It was, to me, that Versuzz, the only reason why I didn't enjoy it because every time Ja Rule stopped performing and it was Fat Joe's turn, it sucked. It dragged. I'm like, bro, this should just be a Ja Rule concert. Because every time Ja Rule comes on, like, I'm just getting, the music is fire.
I think Fat Joe knew what he was getting himself into when he decided to even do this Versuzz. He knew that it was going to be a wash.
Yeah, I think he just did this because they couldn't get 50 Cent and Ja Rule, and Fat Joe really wanted to do a Versuzz. So it's like, all right, I'll just do one with Ja Rule. And
who else was Fat Joe going to go up against?
Bro, because Fat Joe ain't that guy, bro.
He's not that guy.
It's more famous. It's more famous rappers more famous for being famous than actually like rapping.
Really?
Like actually their catalog. Like he should have went against like Noriega. Fat Joe should have went against like Noriega.
Yeah, Noriega. That would have been nice. But see, think about it. When did Fat Joe blow up? When Big Pun Pot passed away?
Yeah, they like to say Fat Joe blew up in '93 or the '90s. I'm like, bro, man, listen, that was some New York shit, bro. Like, bro, I don't really remember Fat Joe until like the '90s, bro. And then people say, oh, well, you're young. If I want to, don't talk hip hop. Well, guess what? I was right on this Ja Rule Fat Joe take. So that's another reason why I like this. Like all these hip hop niggas that always want to be on wear they backpacks and talk about, oh, this from the grains from the Bronx, this hip hop, this boom bap. It's like, guess what? Me and the ladies over here grooving to Ja Rule. All right, not every night is whiskey night. Sometimes you gotta get a cocktail. Sometimes you gotta get a martini or something and groove with the women 2-step. Is all, you know what I'm saying? Like for real, bro. It's not always cool to be here with the niggas in baggy pants.
Facts.
All right, for real.
You gotta have Ashanti on the feature, man.
Okay.
And shout out to Ja Rule, man, bringing out Ashanti, man. I felt like that was, bro. People don't understand that duo, Ashanti, Ja Rule, classic. Anytime they did a song together, number one.
Yeah, and then Nelly caught himself walking over there, and it was funny to me. But I heard Ashanti talking about it last night. Well, not last night. I think it was last night, 2 nights ago. She's pretty much saying like she already is in a relationship. Like that was after he did that. So I'm thinking like, damn nigga, like you look like a whole goofy or go walking all the way over there to hug your ex. Like you on some get back shit. She's already with a whole nother nigga.
That boy trying to get his old thing back, man.
Like it was already like up for debate, was that an L or not? But like after she was like, yeah, she got a whole relationship, it was like, yeah, nigga, that's an L.
It was definitely an L. Looking back, because once she confirmed that, it's just like, bro, what was the point? He did all that for nothing.
Yeah, you went on because even Fat Joe was like, yeah, Nelly called me like, yeah, you come through, you do your thing, and he was sitting there like, after he hit him, I was like, oh, now I know why he's coming.
He put two and two together, man.
You know,
man. So we also had a sidebar. You know what's crazy? I was seeing on the internet. It was Fat Joe, Snoop Dogg, Jermaine Dupri, and Diddy.
Yeah.
And Diddy and Jermaine Dupri, they was going at it, boy.
Man, but
Diddy's saying Jermaine Dupri cannot fuck with him.
But Jermaine Dupri should have pulled his card. Jermaine Dupri let that man son him. And when I say that, if I'm Jermaine Dupri was already in studio. Yeah. He should just play the quick 2-3 songs. Like, nigga, you go outside in the backyard swinging, kissing air, you brother love, nigga, you ain't about that life. Brother. And then on top of the fact, and this is why, like, I'm not gonna sound like a musical historian and nothing, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even like call myself that because people who know way more music than me. But as far as like my age and like what I do know about certain things, and it's easy things. When I say that, you see, oh, Diddy, damn, he could play this, he could play that. Diddy can't produce a beat. When have you ever seen Diddy produce a beat? When have you ever seen Diddy do anything as far as the production of music, as far as beats and all that other shit? Now he may find a sample. He may, you know, see, I feel like he does A&R and he probably does do some tweaking in some of the production. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he puts the whipped cream on production. He knows how for artists to hit certain notes, or you know what I'm saying? He knows how to galvanize certain things out of artists. I know that look, all that, but I'm talking about playing records, playing songs. No, that was a Hit Factory. That was Stevie J and those guys.
Stevie J for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they can do a verses with some of these producers, but for Puff Daddy to get up there and play Biggie records, okay, those are Biggie songs with those producers. Those Bad Boy records are those producers and those artists, and that's like because you own. That's like Suge Knight. That's pretty much like Suge Knight saying, yo, I can do verses. I'm going to play all Death Row shit.
But see, this is the thing. Jermaine Dupri is an artist, too.
Jermaine Dupri is an artist. He's actually, like, he produces these songs.
He's a producer, but he's also an artist. So it's almost like they kind of in the same stratosphere.
They are, as far as mogul-wise, in the game.
But actually producing.
But actually, what they actually do is two totally different things.
Yeah.
That's why, honestly, Jermaine Dupri, if it had to come down to it, would beat him on production for production. But because Diddy is just going to play shit that he owns the rights to pretty much.
Bad Boy Records, man.
It's like, damn, bro. Like, yeah. And even with that, Jermaine Dupri can still beat this nigga. And then even they tell me, oh, what you going to play? What happens when I play Victory? Or what happens when I play goddamn, what's that song called?
He tried to play him with the crisscross shit, but come on, man. This man worked with Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson. Come on, man. Don't play my boy JD. Like,
and that's what he said. He was like, oh, what's it? I forgot. Damn, I feel stupid, dog. But it was a Biggie song. He was like, yo, what you gonna play? He was like, you gonna play Mariah Carey or something like that? Nobody listened to Chris Cross. He's like, well, nobody's playing your records in the club. Yeah. And he's like, what you gonna do after one more chance? And I feel him, and he has good points because that's what Diddy's gonna play. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I feel like Jermaine Dupri got hits.
If Diddy tried to play that 112 card, Jermaine Dupri
Jagged
can easily
Edge.
play that Jagged Edge card. So it's like they can go tit for tat with it. I feel like they can go tit for tat. I think Diddy's definitely underestimating them. He's screaming for Dr. Dre. I don't even think he want that smoke because I think Dre will wash it.
Bro, Dr. Dre, bro.
Diddy.
We can get, bro. He got Kendrick.
Oh man,
Eminem, 50 Cent, The Game, Nas, Snoop.
Let's talk about Snoop.
Tupac, Eazy-E, Ice Cube,
NWA.
Like, bro, you do not want to see Dr. Dre's not picking up that phone call. Dr. Dre's not picking up that phone call. You know why? Because Dr. Dre is a perfectionist producer. He is a genius. If him and Kanye, listen, it was a debate when him and Kanye West were working on some joint album. He probably did some work with Donda. He probably, they were like, who gets the stems? Like when me and you leave the studio, right? Say you're Dr. Dre, I'm Kanye West. We work. When we leave the studio, who's getting the work? Like who's that's that? Because it was like these are two producers,
super producers,
perfectionists. So Dr. Dre looks at this as an insult. Like, nigga, I'm in the studio. Y'all ain't heard Detox because I'm sitting here. I probably got 200 records for Detox that are, and like I probably got 50 hits and I still ain't put them out because that's how much of a perfectionist I am on this board. And I'm not picking up a phone call to do verses for niggas when I got the Beats headphone deal. I'm not getting a phone call to do verses for you niggas and then come do verses and stand across an unqualified person like Puff Daddy just because he has enough status to call my phone.
Yeah.
Don't mean I'm gonna move do you a favor. So I don't think that he's gonna get Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's not picking up that phone call. He's too big for verses. Yeah, but I like to see him do that. Of course, I would like to see Dr. Dre and Diddy just for a musical experience. But seeing in the mind of Dr. Dre, who doesn't come out anyways, to come out to do a bro, get out of here.
I think JD would be more of a artist and producer that Diddy can maybe get with. He's not getting with Dre at all on any type of level. It's not even close. So.
And that's why Dre would be like, bro, like, Diddy, you gonna have to pay me to get, like, you can't pay. I'm a billionaire.
I need a bigger bag.
I'm a billionaire. You can't come up on me with like, yo, I got 50 million.
Nah.
It's like, bro,
I'm a billionaire. That's nothing.
I spend 50 million a month in household, like, in expenses, bro. Like, doesn't wife get like
my ex-wife get $2 million a year.
Like, come on, bro.
Come on, man. Stop it. So that's the end of that. Moving right along, I got an interesting topic here. It's crazy. We seen this on Instagram, and it kind of like took me by surprise, man. But Russell Westbrook and Kid Cudi, what's going on with their wardrobes, man? I know you seen that dress
with the. This is how I feel, man.
You had to take a breath.
This is how I feel because I had a conversation with another one of my friends on Instagram, right? And pretty much what we talked about. And what I was trying to explain to her was, my friend Mandy, what I was trying to explain to her was, I understand that everybody has creative expression, and I'm not offended that Kid Cudi's wearing a dress. I just feel like Kid Cudi panders for opportunities in Hollywood and in the industry. That's what I feel about Kid Cudi, is that he just panders to that community to get certain relevancy and get certain spotlights. I don't think he really does work and does art for us, for our demographic. I think he likes to be in those spaces and he likes to give off the most non-threatening male vibe, so those people in that industry can accept him and see him, oh, you're non-threatening, you're not like a strong, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't give off that vibe like, oh, like he's gonna step up and say something. He gives off that vibe like, those Hollywood Hill parties, like he's down for whatever, and that's cool. But to me, I feel like people say you don't have to come out and say what you are and stuff, and it don't matter to me either. But I just feel like Kid Cudi does stuff like that, or he goes out of his way. Like when Bill Cosby got out, like you're sitting here calling, you still like, you know what I'm saying, like speaking against Bill Cosby. It's like, who are you speaking for? Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why are you saying this? Like, what demographic is gonna be like, oh yeah, he dissed Cosby, yeah, like. Your fans ain't listen to that. Now, and this is why I say what he does personally is different from his music, because I feel like all the features and all the music he's done lately is hits, like it's fire. I love Kid Cudi features on every album this year. Yeah. As far as him like just like wearing the dresses and then going on SNL and wearing the dress for Kurt Cobain, like he's doing all this Kurt Cobain stuff, and I'm keeping it buck, bro. I'm getting this whole, when people be doing these Kurt Cobain tributes to me, it is so tired and played out. And it's not that Nirvana and Kurt Cobain weren't iconic, just like Tupac and other artists who passed before their time, Nipsey Hussle, you know what I'm saying? Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, we can go on and on. But it's like, man, it's just lazy to me. It is not creative to me. It's like, bro, I understand how big Kurt Cobain was, but it's like, bro, like, y'all are too big of artists. Y'all have seen too much. I'm still going to us in tribute. It's like, bro, goddamn, be creative for something else. Like, right, how long are you doing this tribute? I'm wearing dresses in public for Kurt Cobain. It's like, bro, all right, cool, whatever, bro, whatever. It's played out.
I just wish guys would be more original and be like, you don't always have to follow Hollywood.
And then Russell Westbrook, my thing with Russell Westbrook is, it's weird. The reason why I say it's weird is because, like, you're married with 2 kids and a wife. Like, I don't, like, what does your wife say when she sees you walk around sitting with Anna Wintour with a dress on?
Fucking killed.
And my thing is, I'm not sitting here like, oh, I'm closed-minded, or men, oh, because, my friend, she's like, oh, I feel like, heterosexual men feel threatened when you see other men express themselves or wearing dresses. It's like, nah, no.
Nothing to do with that.
It has nothing to do with that. It's just like, why, like even with I think Conway had like a skirt or something like that on, or a dress or something. But I'm asking, what made you wear this? Like, and you know why I'm asking these questions? Because, and this is the thing that people that annoys me, and when people play stupid, right? Point to me regular men that you know that are walking around wearing dresses, because that's how they're expressing themselves. Do you see what I'm saying?
It doesn't exist.
Why do these men wait till they get in these spaces and get this certain level of status
On a Met Gala
where they feel like, now I want to wear a dress? That's the point that I'm making. Of Russell Westbrook, why do you feel like how come if this is how you express, why weren't you wearing dresses in high school?
Also, before pre-games
or why aren't you walking up to the game in a dress? I understand Fashion Week and Met Galas and these things are more conceptual art pieces and conceptual designs and themed out things. I understand that, and it's really like a one outfit thing. I'm not wearing this on my daily basis, and I understand that, I overstand that, but it's still like, you wouldn't do this in regular spaces. There aren't really men walking around just regular spaces. And I know maybe if you go to California, you go to more liberal places, there maybe are straight men who walk around and cross-dress or do whatever. I know that happens. It's cool, whatever. I don't care about that. I'm asking, why are these men doing it? And how come I don't see other men of certain other demographics walking around at the Met Gala in dresses? There's only these two dudes walking around in dresses. Because they're trying to give off that non-threatening, I can sit next to Anna Wintour because we both have on skirts, and this is how I get close to Anna Wintour. Like, nigga, you dunk the basketball, you hoop, and it's not no shove and dribble. I'm not saying that, but it's like, you go from, why do you have to wear a dress sitting like you're successful in your own right? Like, she should have to put on a Russell Westbrook jersey. Facts. And some basketball shorts and some Jordans to sit next to you.
Yeah, configure to you. Facts.
Like, you should be bringing people to your spaces. Like, you shouldn't have to conform to going to other people's spaces. That's how I feel like what real great people are. Like, when you see like all these tech businessmen, you see these billionaires going to the Cavs game or going to the Lakers game because they're going to watch LeBron. You feel me? You see these actors, entertainers, musicians, you know what I'm saying? These politicians going to see Kobe, going to see Michael, because I don't give a damn what we're doing. We're coming to see what you got to do. We're coming to see you. Yeah. That's what your greatness should be. I understand greatness, you want to be in the same orbit as other people, but I don't understand why you're wearing a dress. As a Russell Westbrook, even the Kid Cudi, his reasoning was
Mr. Man on the Moon,
was the whole Kurt Cobain thing. My reasoning is just like, that's kind of played out for me. I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand it to the point where like you're still walking around here wearing dresses, and if you got your hair down, that's cool. If that's who you are, cool. I just don't understand how come you didn't come out with On Man on the Moon with the dress on. Like, when you did Day and Night, how come you didn't do Day and Night with the dress on and green hair?
Why is it now that you?
If you a Captain Crunch ass nigga on your first album, be a Captain Crunch ass nigga on your last album.
We want to keep the consistency going.
That's what I was saying about Kanye West and Jesus Walks. I'm like, Jesus Walks was a major hit. That was like the first church hip hop song that really was like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then almost 20 years later, you got Donda. No matter where he went, he still kept it on the same type of flow, right? And he did veer off to the opposite, but he still kind of come back. And when he veered off, people didn't like that because we want the same. I mean, you can reinvent yourself, but like, dude, come on, Kid Cudi. Like, like I said, same Russell Westbrook. Like, I don't understand the hype around wearing dresses. Like the statement you're making.
Yeah, man. So Russell Westbrook, Kid Cudi, man, y'all boys get it together, man, on the wardrobe.
And then we got probably the last topic.
Yeah.
I want to talk about sports, the NFL recap, college football recap. First and foremost, I want to say shame on Florida State.
Shame.
For the last 2 weeks with these devastating losses. You missed a kick in overtime to let Notre Dame win at Florida State. And then the next week you let Jacksonville State come in there and win on a Hail Mary touchdown last play of the game. Like, I'm done with Florida State for the rest of the year. I'm taking out all my energy on Florida, hopefully losing to Alabama tonight. And I'm going to troll Florida fans because my team is out. This is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I don't care about it.
Speaking of, we have a live update, you guys, since y'all are with us. Florida is currently down 21-16 in the third quarter to Alabama. So we're going to go over these past 3 weeks as, the topics that's been going on in college football. Of course, Florida State, you guys are trash. I'm done with you guys as of for this year.
Oregon upset Ohio State last week.
That was a big game.
That was a big game.
Week 1, we had Georgia over Clemson.
Defensive
showdown.
And what I've been saying, Georgia has the best secondary in college football. They're going to prove that.
Hands down. Not even close. Alabama beat Miami, of course, week 1. That was a blowout.
I don't understand why Miami gets ranked high. Like, why they always get ranked in teams.
Every year. And it's always like the pre-year, and then by like week 4, they're not ranked anymore.
Last time Miami was taken serious, I think they beat Notre Dame on a Saturday night in Miami. That's like when they first bust out turnover chain that year. And after they did that turnover chain thing, it was a wrap.
Yeah, turnover chain kind of.
It's a wrap.
It was an upset today too. Let me see. Oh yeah, Virginia Tech lost to West Virginia, unranked.
Damn.
Virginia Tech is ranked number 15 in the nation.
Damn.
Guys, ACC has been looking really bad.
Yeah. They lost
Miami
all their
just lost
opening
today
games.
To Michigan State.
Miami lost to Michigan State?
Michigan State is not ranked.
Damn.
ACC has been looking weak, man.
And Clemson fell off.
Clemson's actually, they playing right now. It's only 7-0 against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is unranked.
Well,
third quarter.
I think that wraps up college football right now. So let's go to the NFL.
It was a lot of good things these past couple weeks. Did anybody see the sloppy game from the Washington and the Giants, the Redskins, not the Redskins, but the football team?
We did, but before we get on that Thursday night game, I just want us to discuss things that we know after week 1, right?
After week 1, okay.
Number 1, in the things that we know after week 1 is that Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, and Rob Gronkowski have a synergy and a complementary game about all 3 of them, where these are his 2 main targets, and Gronk is still Gronk, Antonio Brown is still Antonio Brown, and Tom Brady is still Tom Brady.
Yeah. They have the best receiving corps in football.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Another thing in the things we know, right? Number 2, Dak Prescott is back.
He's the real deal.
Another 400-yard passing game. He's probably had the most 400-yard passing games in the last year, and he was out,
damn near
12 games last year pretty much.
Yeah.
Things we know. Taylor Lewan, the offensive tackle, I think on the left or right side for the Titans after he came back from, ACL injury or something like that, is washed.
He's done.
That is going to be a big problem for the Titans going forward because Chandler Jones whooped his ass. I think he gave up 6 sacks on his side.
Yeah, Chandler Jones had 5 sacks that game.
5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles.
Also, Indianapolis Colts are in trouble. Carson Wentz looked horrible against Seattle. I mean, they were down big in the first half.
Number 4 in things we know, Carson Wentz is not that guy with the Colts. And not saying, because Seahawks look good, but it's just the fact where are we going to rank the Colts like in a barometer scale? Like, how serious are we going to take them? Colts like they're going to be struggling to stay afloat above 500 all year, so we're not going to look at them crazy. And number 5, what do you think is something definite that we know after week 1?
Cleveland Browns have a serious shot at the Super Bowl.
Wow.
A serious chance. I'm not even playing.
What a hot take to round out the 5th.
Yeah. If you've seen the Chiefs game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Cleveland is legit. Cleveland is a Baker Mayfield, them boys down, Chubb, Hunt. Man, look. And they don't even have Odell. Odell hasn't played 1 game.
I'm going to be honest. Man. I don't know if Baker Mayfield can make that play to win that game in the playoffs.
Why do you feel like that?
Because he hasn't made it yet. And then last week when he threw that pick, regardless of like whose fault it was or how he threw it, I just feel like he can't drive his team downfield for the game-winning touchdown.
I feel like
in the playoffs on the road against a Mahomes or against a Josh Allen or just against a better quarterback.
Yeah. Also, Baltimore is in trouble.
Baltimore is definitely in trouble.
Baltimore is in trouble. Big time.
Baltimore is in trouble because when you look around Lamar Jackson, he has nothing.
And nothing. I mean, besides Mark Andrews, you already know it's going to him. Who else do they have?
You better hope Le'Veon Bell can turn that clock back because they literally have nothing. They have no running game behind him. They should have won that game on Monday Night Football, and they lost because Lamar Jackson turned over the football, and people keep blaming him. But I'm like, bro, Lamar Jackson is literally responsible for the ball every snap. If he's doing the zone reads, if he's doing the option runs, if he's got him throwing the ball, if he has to scramble, like, damn, bro, like, yeah, you're probably going to turn over the ball if you fucking hike the ball 80 times and you're going to have to, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah, other quarterbacks, nah, because you're going to be sitting in the pocket. But for somebody like him who's really like a glorified running back, bro, like, how many hits you want him to take? That's why he fumbled the ball so many goddamn times. Yeah. Because who was it, Max Crosby? Yeah. That was on his bumper the whole time.
His ass the whole game. Also, this is the last one I'm going to go with right here. Y'all be on the lookout for the New Orleans Saints. What they did to the Packers week 1 and what the Rams did to the Bears week 1 is not to be overlooked. Matthew Stafford has something cooking in L.A. Jameis Winston got something cooking in New Orleans.
Salute to anybody who grabbed Darren Waller, because I think then he had like 19 targets, 10 catches. He's the number 1 receiver, and he's a tight end. So salute to anybody who got Darren Waller in fantasy football. That was crazy. And like I said, salute to anybody who got Dak Prescott fantasy football like I did, because I got Dak I won't even say for the low, but he wasn't going like in the top 3, so it was easy to, once everybody was making their quarterback runs, it's easy just to pluck Dak out when people were doing that. You know what I'm saying? So salute to the people who got Dak Prescott, salute to people who got Antonio Brown, salute to people who got Chris Godwin and Gronk, because I felt like for Tampa Bay offense to look like projected number 1 offense in the NFL going forward, to get those 3 pieces, you could have got all those 3 pieces for the low. And I feel like the only piece that was too over expensive was Mike Evans, because if Mike Evans doesn't catch a touchdown, he's not really performing like that for your fantasy football.
Yeah, to draft him where you feel like you're gonna end up like where he fall at.
Right. Yeah. You have to get Mike Evans in the top 4 or 5 picks, and like people, I don't know why, but it's like people draft Mike Evans where you draft Keenan Allen.
Yeah, exactly, and don't do it. Just fantasy owners, just don't do it.
No, not at all. So I think this wraps up
episode
20 for Perspectives and Facts podcast. I know you guys like the new studio. We are in a nice, fancy podcast studio, so there's no more recording with a frying pan. You know what I'm saying? We're in 1080 HP. We're going to be putting this up on YouTube tonight, and we're going to be streaming this on Buzzsprout. We're going to be hitting all your social media services. It's Florida Boy J. Please, I need, I think, like 5 more followers on Twitter to hit 1,000. So let's get that. Let's hit 1,000 subscribers on this YouTube page, because once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll be open to having a community section. And once I have a community section, I can post people's businesses or flyers or music, their clothes, whatever they do. I can post it. You know what I'm saying? I can get ads in there, and I can get some traction, and everybody can get a business flow, and can have a place to plug their audience and to plug some business and get some traction for them. So, Randy, do you have any final words for the audience?
Follow me at Randy. Y'all know what it is. Perspective and Fact Podcast at Florida Boy J on YouTube. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We love your feedback. We love everything you guys say. We just love it. Just so keep interacting with us. Keep staying with us through our journey, through our growth of this podcast. And we're going to keep this thing moving, man. Episode 20, man. Y'all know what it is.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the Starport. Salute to everybody fucking with us. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Troll Babies. We're going to be posting this in the community section.
Troll Babies.
So go in the community section. Probably going to come in there and start clapping at niggas. You know what I'm saying? Just because, especially with this new with the new visuals, they ain't got nothing to say. I feel like this video is going to hit.
Y'all can't say shit.
I feel like this video is going to do really, really good on YouTube. So thank you. Salute. You guys have a great night. Wonderful day. Enjoy your Saturday. Be safe. Thank you. Peace. Yo.